President-elect Donald Trump was recently fact-checked by none other than Fox News. Now, this is after he falsely blamed the New Year's Eve attack in New Orleans on immigrants. On 3 a.m. Wednesday morning, a truck, allegedly driven by a U.S. military veteran, Shamsu Dinjaba, intentionally slammed into a group of people celebrating New Year's Eve in the city's French Quarter. So far, 14 people confirmed dead, dozens wounded, over 30 in this really horrific attack, which ended with a deadly shootout with police. So even before the authorities identified this alleged killer, Donald Trump decided he was going to put out a statement blaming immigrants. He said, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country," that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. That's also not true. Also not true. Our hearts are with all the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil. Okay, so look, that statement was just chock full of falsehoods. So much so that you had a Fox reporter that was forced to fact check him on the air.
Now, the former president said criminals coming in a statement, meaning into our country. But to be clear, Molly and Brian, the suspect was born in the United States. He served in the United States Army. He was a veteran. The FBI is the lead agency in this investigation, going through the social media and any other accounts associated with the suspect.
So, U.S. born, ex-military, now allegedly radicalized by ISIS. That's what we know. An Army spokesperson confirmed to ABC News that Jabbar had served in the military in human resources and information technology roles from 2007 to 2015, during which he had deployed to Afghanistan from February 2009 to January 2010. So he continued as an IT specialist in the Army Reserve from 2015 to 2020. His listed jobs were not direct combat roles. Jabbar was honorably discharged from the Army after he was caught drunk driving on base, according to the Washington Post. He was charged in February of 2015 and pleaded guilty. The suspect had earlier enlisted in the Navy in August 2024, though he never went to boot camp and was discharged from the delayed entry program a month later, according to a Navy spokesperson. Public records suggested he was involved in consulting and real estate. Court records also indicate that he was divorced and making somewhere around $120,000 a year. I don't know if that really matters, but apparently he had some debts, claiming in an email that he owed over $27,000 in late home payments and was at risk of foreclosure. Apparently he needed to hire a lawyer and pay living expenses, and said that he had taken on $16,000 in credit card debt. Whatever that has to do with him being inspired by ISIS to go and attack a bunch of innocent people and then die in a suicide by cop, I have no idea. But here we are. We have another person radicalized by religious fundamentalism and possibly even divorce, but not an immigrant. I mean, what I do know is that he is not a migrant. He is a homegrown terrorist from the great state of Texas. Okay, that's it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with Texas. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've got viewers from Texas that might be offended, and I don't mean to offend you or anything like that, saying that there might be something wrong with Texas, but when you look at the policies going on there, it's starting to, in some ways, resemble ISIS in Texas. Just saying. I mean, you look at their anti-abortion laws, you look at their religious fundamentalism. I'm just saying, there may be some, similarities. All right. Now, that said, here's the thing: the right wing and Donald Trump immediately jump into the wrong conclusions every single time. Every single time something like this happens. Why? It's because they're not interested in facts. Okay? And we know this. And he knows this. He knows it's not an immigrant. Okay? This is all marketing. All right? Even though Donald Trump won this election already, all right, he's still going to do the marketing because that's all he knows. And I wish that saying that, oh man, I wish he would stop and at least admit the truth, and because it's going to harm people. I wish saying that would make him stop, but it's not going to. Okay, it's not going to. And the only thing that we can do is, ironically, what this Fox News reporter is doing, which is reporting the reality. All right, trying to debunk all the BS around this. And by the way, that's Justice Correspondent David Spunt, who did his job. He actually did his job by reporting facts. Yeah, and pushing back against the president-elect. Now, this should not be a surprise. This should be what, hey, isn't this what reporters are supposed to do? They're supposed to report the truth. But remember, we are living in a post-truth world now. So, I don't know. Actually doing what he's supposed to do as a reporter might actually get him in trouble. I wouldn't be surprised, because there is no greater enemy to the truth now than this upcoming Trump administration. I mean, it's just so painfully obvious that they have no grounds in reality, no interest in reality whatsoever, if it doesn't fit their narrative. So either it's like whenever there's a mass shooting or some sort of terrorist attack, it must be either a trans person or an immigrant. That's what the right wing thinks now. Anytime it happens, and of course, it always gets proven that no, that's not what happened. It's usually an American-born white cis man. Now, in this case, it's not a white cis man, but it's definitely a cis man who is, an American who was born here, who served in our military. I don't know. And again, on that, serving in the military, I mean, there's been a lot of warnings that, hey, there's a lot of, a lot of extremists that are ending up in our armed forces, that are signing up. Now, normally it's white supremacists, but in this case, somebody who is inspired by religious fundamentalists over in ISIS. So I don't know. There seems to be a problem that you have people going into the military, getting trained, to do deadly things, obviously, and then using those skills to harm people. But I don't think that's the case here. I think the case here is that something radicalized him, something set him off. And so I don't know. We're going to have to see. But that said, when it comes to the reporting on this, when it comes to the upcoming administration, we're not going to get any of the truth from that. And if you're concerned about the ramifications that this country and our people, will see as a result of this, if you're worried, you should be. And if you're not, you still should be. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.